She who knows life flows, feels no wear or tear, needs no mending or repair. One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. Live every act fully, as if it were your last. Offend in neither word nor deed. Eat with moderation. Live in your heart. Seek the highest consciousness. Master yourself according to the law. This is the simple teaching of the awakened. Everything is based on mind, is led by mind, is fashioned by mind. If you speak and act with a polluted mind, suffering will follow you, as the wheels of the ox cart follow the footsteps of the ox. Better it is to live one day seeing the rise and fall of things than to live 100 years without ever seeing the rise and fall of things. Should you find a wise critic to point out your faults, follow him as you would a guide to hidden treasure. In separateness lies the world's greatest misery, in compassion lies the world's true strength. Don't rush anything. When the time is right, it'll happen. The world is afflicted by death and decay. But the wise do not grieve, having realized the nature of the world. Anger will never disappear so long as thoughts of resentment are cherished in the mind. Anger will disappear just as soon as thoughts of resentment are forgotten. The instant we feel anger, we have already ceased striving for the truth, and have begun striving for ourselves. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. Know from the rivers in clefts and in crevices, those in small channels flow noisily, the great flow silent. Whatever's not full makes noise. Whatever is full is quiet. There is no fire like passion. There is no shark like hatred. There is no snare like folly. There is no torrent like greed. Not by rituals and resolutions, nor by much learning, nor by celibacy, nor even by meditation can you find the supreme, immortal joy of nirvana until you extinguish your self-will. All tremble at violence, all fear death. Putting oneself in the place of another, one should not kill nor cause another to kill. Conquer anger with non-anger. Conquer badness with goodness. Conquer meanness with generosity. To be angry is to let others' mistakes punish yourself. He who can curb his wrath as soon as it arises, as a timely antidote will check snake's venom that so quickly spreads. Such a monk gives up the here and the beyond, just as a serpent sheds its worn-out skin. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. One who acts on truth is happy in this world and beyond. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like his never-departing shadow. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought like a shadow that never leaves. Health Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. Whatever is not yours, let go of it. Your letting go of it will be for your long-term happiness and benefit. Delight in meditation and solitude. Compose yourself, be happy. You are a seeker. Those who are free of resentful thoughts surely find peace. Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. He who sits alone, sleeps alone, and walks alone, who is strenuous and subdues himself alone, will find delight in the solitude of the forest. Don't run after pleasure and neglect the practice of meditation. If you forget the goal of life and get caught in the pleasures of the world, you will come to envy those who put meditation first. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again. But if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. A mind unruffled by the vagaries of fortune, from sorrow freed, from defilements cleansed, from fear liberated, this is the greatest blessing. Meditate. Do not delay, lest you later regret it. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Resolutely train yourself to attain peace. Give, even if you only have a little. If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it in some way. To live a pure, unselfish life, one must count nothing as one's own in the midst of abundance. The greatest gift is to give people your enlightenment, to share it. It has to be the greatest. Teach this triple truth to all: a generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. If we fail to look after others when they need help, who will look after us? Whatever words we utter should be chosen with care, for people will hear them and be influenced by them for good or ill. True charity occurs only when there are no notions of giving, giver, or gift. Before giving, the mind of the giver is happy, while giving, the mind of the giver is made peaceful, and having given, the mind of the giver is uplifted. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and children, and to be engaged in peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. When watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. The one who has conquered himself is a far greater hero than he who has defeated 1,000 times 1,000 men. Be a lamp for yourselves. Be your own refuge. Seek for no other. All things must pass. Strive on diligently. Don't give up. Wear your ego like a loose-fitting garment. What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. You yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. Conquer anger with non-anger. Conquer badness with goodness. Conquer meanness with generosity. Conquer dishonesty with truth. Those who cling to perceptions and views wander the world offending people. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. I will not look at another's bowl intent on finding fault, a training to be observed. Let none find fault with others, let none see the omissions and commissions of others. But let one see one's own acts, done and undone. Should a person do good, let him do it again and again. Let him find pleasure therein, for blissful is the accumulation of good. May all beings have happy minds. Delight in heedfulness. Guard well your thoughts. Should you find a wise critic to point out your faults, follow him as you would a guide to hidden treasure. Should a seeker not find a companion who is better or equal, let them resolutely pursue a solitary course. In whom there is no sympathy for living beings, know him as an outcast. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. Live with no sense of mind, not forming attachment to experiences. Better it is to live one day seeing the rise and fall of things than to live 100 years without ever seeing the rise and fall of things. One is not called noble who harms living beings. By not harming living beings, one is called noble. If a man going down into a river, swollen and swiftly flowing, is carried away by the current, how can he help others across? All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Aren't we do today what must be done? Who knows? Tomorrow, death comes. The world is afflicted by death and decay. But the wise do not grieve, having realized the nature of the world. Resolutely train yourself to attain peace. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and children, and to be engaged in peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. All tremble at violence, all fear death. Putting oneself in the place of another, One should not kill nor cause another to kill. They blame those who remain silent. They blame those who speak much. They blame those who speak in moderation. There is none in the world who is not blamed. Just as the great ocean has one taste, the taste of salt, so also this teaching and discipline has one taste, the taste of liberation. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows them like a never-departing shadow. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. The one in whom no longer exists the craving and thirst that perpetuate becoming, how could you track that awakened one, trackless, and of limitless range? The root of suffering is attachment. Whatever precious jewel there is in the heavenly worlds, there is nothing comparable to one who is awakened. As a water bead on a lotus leaf, as water on a red lily, does not adhere, so the sage does not adhere to the seen, the heard, or the sensed. It is in the nature of things that joy arises in a person free from remorse. All experiences are preceded by mind, having mind as their master, created by mind. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. All tremble at violence, all fear death. Putting oneself in the place of another, one should not kill nor cause another to kill. Ceasing to do evil, cultivating the good, purifying the heart, this is the teaching of the Buddhas. Understanding is the heartwood of well-spoken words. He who can curb his wrath as soon as it arises, as a timely antidote will check snake's venom that so quickly spreads, such a monk gives up the here and the beyond, just as a serpent sheds its worn-out skin. As I am, so are these. As are these, so am I. Drawing the parallel to yourself, neither kill nor get others to kill. Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame. We will develop love, we will practice it, we will make it both a way and a basis. There is no fear for one whose mind is not filled with desires.